We are live for those of you watching at home. We're at the 4A Girls Basketball Championships, and Jim Keating, host committee, will list off the starting players for Gonzaga Vikings and Holy Heart Highlanders.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Memorial University of
Let's go, girls.
The Seahawks, where today we have the final, the championship game of the SSNL Girls 4A Provincial Championships. Your starting line from the Gonzaga Vikings, number 11,
folks, for those of you at home, we're live on YouTube and Facebook at SSNL 2025 Girls High School Basketball. I'm Andrea Dana here with my buddy, Erica Coltis. Much younger, much more talented ball player than me. I am here we're going to get play-by-play, commentary, and first of all and foremost, before we start, we want to thank PwC, our host team this year, put off a wonderful tournament, great banquet for everybody. The stands are packed with schools, students from both schools, so we're in for a good game, I think.
Pardon? In here. Okay.
No.
Okay, we just had notification that people couldn't hear us, but apparently we're good. So we're back.
I've never had anybody tell me they couldn't hear me. You?
I knew it was wrong. I have it. It's very exciting. It's definitely been a huge battle all year between two of these squads. So for both of them, the final, I don't think there's anybody in the gym who's surprised to see these two teams here today.
It's going to be a battle. I think last year Gonzaga Vikings won the 4As. This year Holy Heart seems to be a little bit of a deeper bench, but you know what? You only need 6 or 7 to win. We've proven that in 1995 at the AOS. So it's going to be a very tight game. It's going to be strategic, and see how the big players pull out.
Yeah, and I know they've had good games at PwC, but of course moving into a different gym for the final, that could affect people in different ways, and there's a big crowd out here today, so should be an exciting game. I'm sure the first few minutes is going to be a lot of nerves until they get those out.
There's a nice steal by Bella Hines. Fancy footwork to steal the ball. One of the many soccer players in this tournament. Every time you watch a game, there's 2 or 3 elite soccer players in this tournament, so their athleticism certainly helps when it comes to basketball for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always those all-star soccer players are real difference makers at the high school level for a
100%.
basketball team. And Abidi going to take one early. Good shot. You know, Gonzaga really wants to run that ball as much as they can.
They're obviously going to look for Sarah Reed and Izzy White to score a majority of their points. But at the end of the day, it's going to be a collaborative effort. All 5 on that floor have got to play well in order for those 2 girls to be at their best.
Absolutely. I think most teams will be focused on the top players. So a lot of times it's those role players that really are the big ticket people for these games. Big 3. You like to see that as a coach. If your shooters hit shots early, that's a good thing
with Kia Nurse Team Canada last year and went away. She's performed well all year. Izzy White has certainly come a long way in the last couple of years, and they play super well together. Bella Hines, Sarah Baker, great soccer players, and they've certainly been a great asset for Brie Vallis.
Absolutely, yeah. They've got a great team, great leaders, great coaches on that bench as well.
I love all the female coaches, I have to say. A bit biased when it comes to that.
Young female coaches too,
yeah.
which is nice. Sarah Reed sounds like you just can't even be in the area of her. It's hard to get out of the way of.
I'd probably let her go.
I definitely let her go. I think Molly just
I might be benched for it, but I'd probably let her
get
go.
away from her fast enough. She knew what she was into.
When they steal the ball in the other end and they start the fast break, Sarah Reed always has this zip line pass, usually to Bella Hines or Sarah Baker. That time I think she was looking to draw the foul more than dish it off.
For sure.
Molly Arrow had a great game last night. She shot about 3 or 4 threes.
Gonzaga's coming out with,
and that's their game, right?
I think that's to be expected. I mean, the real challenge for Gonzaga is when they start going to their bench, and I think that's the real matchup here today. Bench
Very
versus
matchup
bench.
for sure. Can finish from anywhere. She is one tough girl to stop.
Yeah.
Soccer player, but
yeah. I mean, she's the best athlete in the whole gym. Men and women included. It's going to be, there's no way this won't be a battle all day. These girls are here. They've battled all year, and I'm sure they're mentally focused to just play the full 40 minutes. Sarah Reed's last forays coming up here. A number of girls' last forays. So Sarah Reed and Izzy White,
Bella Hines, Hannah Beatty, Sophie Fowler, Athier.
Athier's grade 11.
Athier's grade 11, is she?
Yeah.
Holy moly, she got another year.
There's a number of them now, and this is their last forays they'll play. So I'm sure a lot of emotions to go along with this here today too.
A lot of emotions yesterday at the semifinals when the teams got knocked out. It was very sad. It's a big, huge part of your life. Everyone's going to be separated next year. Some will stay home, some will go away.
Absolutely, it's definitely these are definitely the funnest times of your life by far. And the crowds here, it's just a great time to be an athlete.
And throughout our time here with you guys today, we'll mention the sponsors that without them we wouldn't be able to put off such a great tournament, a great banquet. PwC has done an amazing job with this event this weekend.
Yes, their sponsors are impressive. I was going to try and hit them up from one back. Nice.
Jenna McNeil is driving to the net looking for Sophie on the three-point line where she's just as dangerous on the three-point line as she is inside.
Sophie Fowler, their number 15, just as announced she's going to Acadia to be an excellent. So congratulations to Sophie Fowler. And of course we got Sarah Reed out there who is going to Queens. So, two girls going to, over 6 feet tall women. Sadly leaving to Providence as a Mund alum. Sad to see them go, but very happy for them to be going off to university, playing at some big schools, and continuing to play basketball at a high level. So congratulations to those girls. Whoa, that was a good-looking shot. That went down. That might be a problem for Holy Heart.
She made a few of them the weekend for sure.
Yeah, that's the big thing. If Sarah Reed can get a bit of help on the offense today, It makes her day a lot easier. Nice.
In favor of Gonzaga with 5 minutes left in the first quarter.
I give the girls credit. A lot of girls hit the floor so far. I mean, we're only 5 minutes into this game. We got our first sub coming in, so these girls have given a good 5 minutes. They're good and getting good and tired, but a lot of girls hitting the floor early.
Alex Carapelian. Sorry if we butcher names. We're hooked on phonics a little bit here. She just came in for Jenna McNeil. This is probably only the second foul of the game, which is a bit...
I think this Hannah Haas who just came in.
Oh, was it Hannah Haas?
Yeah, I think Hannah Haas just came in for Jenna McNeil, number 2.
I butchered somebody's name and I didn't need to.
It's all right.
Don't leave Hannah Beatty on the three-point line.
Oh, big shot for Hannah. Nice looking shot. She got a great looking shot, Hannah Beatty. Hot potato.
It's going to be a battle under the boards today. Got lots of big girls and lots of mediocre-sized girls with the athleticism of 6'2" boys. Nice box out. Sarah Ray will bring it up. Looking for Bella Hines down the floor. Little scoop shot by Sarah Ray. A little bit off, blue ball.
I get credit out there to number 11. I don't know her name on Gonzaga, and she's not listed as number 11 on the book, but
Oh, that's Alexis.
I mean, hats off to her. Just watching her, she's like an unsung hero out there on offense. She's setting big screens and like hitting real screens. And any young players out there watching, follow number 11 at Gonzaga. She got a job to do to get the best player in the province open, and Sarah Reed, and she takes her job serious.
She's had to step up this weekend because Sarah Power, who was the starter for Gonzaga all year, just came back off a foot injury and in the Hall of Fame Cup broke her hand.
It's devastating.
So that's devastating. But she's been excellent on the bench, encouraging, positive, and that's just as much as part of the team off the floor as it is on.
Absolutely, absolutely. Great idea, great move.
Another sub coming in for Gonzaga. Sorry, Holy Heart. Gonzaga hasn't made any subs yet.
And this is the hard thing as a coach, you know. You want to have faith in your bench, and, you know, we have a lot of faith in your starters and certain players. And on these days, you know, at the end of the day, you do need to play people because, you know, your top players can't play the whole game. But it is really hard to take out your, you know, your top
Really
players.
hard, yeah. But I think Bree Vallis's
Nice take. Oh, tough.
hard take. Bree Vallis's goal is probably to get a nice lead before half, and then, as she's done all weekend, then play her bench after halftime.
And as we said, the battle here today is of the benches. And, you know, if Holy Heart can go to their bench, they do have a lot of talent. And no offense to Gonzaga. Gonzaga has certainly good athletes, but Holy Heart has better basketball talent coming off the bench. So if Holy Heart's bench doesn't come in and compete with the starters, then, you know, Colin McNeil might have a harder time going to that bench today as well. So, yeah, there's no doubt the starting five for both teams are the top players, and there's lots of talent coming in after, but you're always most confident with your starters.
For sure, and he had to make a sub that time to take his starting point guard off, but Molly Arnold got 2 fouls very quickly. Not easy guarding Sarah Reed.
No, absolutely. And she's frustrated there, but that, you know, that's what it is to be a point guard. You know, you gotta, it's a very emotional role to be a point guard. She's having a great weekend. She's got to give herself a shake now and get her head right to come back and help her team. It's a long game. There's lots going to happen.
So that's what Maria Carroll's role is here. New to the coaching staff, great asset to Colin McNeil. She's down now, settling down Molly Arnold, who's a little bit emotional about having to come off. But you know what? That kind of stuff happens. And she'll settle her down and zone her back into the game, and she'll be back before no time.
No, absolutely. This is the gift of sports at this level, you know, just learning how to play with your emotions. And, you know, you want to win so bad, you know, you're so focused. And, you know, the last game of the year is just, you know, there's only one winner and a lot of pressure with that. For all players, but, you know, especially the top players on the court. They just feel that responsibility to take their team to the championship, and, you know, it's a gift to have to suffer through these emotions. It does make you a better person. And like you said, Molly's had a great weekend this weekend, and I'm sure she'll continue to do so.
And for those who are not going on to play further basketball, this is probably this you know, outside of ladies league next year and having fun
This
in
is
their
the mecca,
university.
you know?
This is the be all end all for them.
For sure.
It's 2 missed free throws. Free throws gotta happen. Gotta happen. They're freebies.
Yeah, these games games definitely come down to free throws, rebounds, and turnovers, you know, and kind of whoever's stats to look better on that end is probably going to be the winner today.
Good defense by Sarah Baker on Athier. That's Jada Dua. Little but feisty.
Yeah, she's another great athlete, very fast. She's been in the provincial system as well. Big shot for a grade 10 to come in and hit off the bench. As a coach, you like when you lose your starting point guard and you put in a grade 10 sub and they do something like that. That is good. Tell now Gonzaga's starting point guard wants to win a matchup with a grade 10, so you can see her confidence. It's like, give me the ball.
Sure. Game is tied with 2 minutes left in the quarter.
Nice shot. She's got a beautiful looking shot.
She really does.
Nice game. Bella Hines, she's been the star here to start this game. She's kind of doing it all.
It's long.
Wow. Nice three-pointers, not even hitting the rim. Big shots.
That was a beautiful shot.
15 for Holy Heart. This is the berm.
I don't think I was ever allowed to shoot out that far.
Nice shot again.
Izzy White and Sarah have been beasts on the board. I think Sarah had 18 rebounds yesterday. Izzy had 15 or 16.
Yeah, I mean, these are some big, strong women.
Holy moly.
There's no joke about it.
Hannah Beatty and Sophie Fowler, same thing yesterday in their semifinal game. They were on the glass.
Let's see where Athier hit to the ground.
Athier just got a little bit of a bump there on a screen. I've seen her go down on the floor a few times this weekend because she plays so tough.
Yep.
But I can tell you one thing. She's down for probably 10 seconds and up again.
For sure. And you can see she kind of tussled with Bella Hines there, and you can see the good sportsmanship. Bella give her a tap. Sorry about that, but that's it. That's what we're doing here today.
Right now.
That's how this day is going to go. Mutual respect. Right up here now, 17-17. Athier hits both free throws. Good help side defense.
We're going to have to judge Bella Hines now. She's had a really good weekend too, I have to say.
Not just a soccer player, that's
No,
for sure.
she's really coming to her own for basketball for sure. And one. Mary Eaton for two. Izzy White with the foul.
Broken by Mary Eaton. Mary Eaton, the Canada Games player. She'll be playing representing the province this summer when Newfoundland hosts the Canada Games. Mary Eaton is one of those players on that team.
Speaking of Canada Games, we're all volunteering. If anybody out there wants to volunteer and help us out, it'd be greatly appreciated. Contact Volunteer Board at on Facebook or Instagram. We're looking for volunteers to do little things like serve meals, show people where to sit, all those kind of things. There's a job for everybody. It's going to be a wonderful 2 weeks, and we'd certainly appreciate it if you want to sign up. Look at Facebook page or Instagram.
Absolutely. We're looking for 5,000, of which they have over 3,000, I believe, right now. Still looking for another couple thousand volunteers. And if you haven't been a part of it, we're giving you a free heads up that it's not something you want to miss. It's going to be an incredible opportunity for people to be involved with. 2019 now, Holy Heart over Gonzaga. Sarah Lee got the ball. Friend Sarah hasn't gotten going yet, but that Sarah's kind of like, wow, big shot, she has a foul. It's weird. I like talking about the refs.
And that's the end of the first quarter, 20-19. Very close game as predicted.
And I know Bella Hines has got them going early. Sarah Lee's definitely the type of player. She kind of sits back and watches, sees who's getting going, and then kind of picks out who she's going to get going next. So she hasn't gotten going too much early, Sarah, I find. And, which is everybody on the Holy Heart team knows that. So you're just kind of, she can just kind of creep up in you and score quick 10. So while she hasn't dropped big buckets yet, you know that's coming now in the next quarter.
Yeah, the Holy Hearts game plan shut her down and shut Izzy White down, and the rest they hope will fall into place. And they have the numbers to do it. Sarah Ree will surely find something in her back pocket, and Izzy White will be there if she doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, Holy Heart would feel a lot better if they were up by more because, you know, if it's close down the stretch, you know, Sarah is a problem. So if she decides to take over the game, then that's where you get a bit nervous. So, you know, if you're Holy Heart, you want a bit of a comfortable lead because if it's close, it definitely gets harder to predict things. So should be interesting to see how they keep coming out. And, you know, if I was on the other side, I'd be nervous that Sarah hasn't gotten going and it's a close game. So, but that credit goes to, you know, like I said, a lot of people doing a lot of good things, but Bella Hines has definitely been the, you know, the top player for them today to get them going, which is huge. She is a big, strong athlete, and you know looks to be tough. Even when she's matching up with the girls on Holy Heart, you know,
sure.
Molly Arnold and their other rookie, the Grey Tan player. They just she's a lot stronger than both of them. So if she can get going offensively, that is a good mismatch.
Shout out to sponsors: Hahn Distributing, Madeira Engineering, Tucker's Surveys, Generic Electric, Auto Expert, Railsback Convenience, Fred Hutton MHA, Peter Pan Sales, distributors of food packaging, servicing for Peter Pan, Professional Beauty Supplies, which nobody cares about here this morning because we're all not wearing makeup, Supplement Kings, Canada Games, NLBA, lots of sponsors, which is
That's amazing. It's awesome.
And Physio & Co.
That's right.
Our Amy.
There you go. Physio & Co.
He in college.
Marco, always
Lee
a big
Side
sponsor.
Group.
Yeah, a lot of sponsors. Amazing to see.
Sharp
Amazing
Store.
to see.
Holy moly. Back for the second quarter.
All right, Holy Heart up by 1, 20-19.
Same lineup for Gonzaga. Sophie Fowler and Jenna McNeil are back on for Holy Heart.
Big crowd here today. I'd say there's upwards of 400 or 500 people in the gym.
Easy.
You guys are probably getting the benches side, but if the cameras were to turn around, then you'd see both stands are jam-packed on this side as well.
Cannot leave Appier under those boards. Can't happen.
She gets 3 chances, she's going to put 1 in.
Yeah.
Izzy White here taking the ball up for Gonzaga. Oh, poked away.
Dandy move.
Yeah, it's the $1 million move with the 10-cent shot, unfortunately. But serious defense to get her there. 2 tough moves by 2 great players, both ends of the floor. It's a wash. Now we're back to even.
Coach Dallas wants to talk about it.
Holy Heart came out up 22-14. Bree's going to call a quick timeout just to get her troops re-rallied here. So
She must have seen something that she wants to adjust.
Yeah, unfortunately, I wasn't paying enough defensive attention to see if they had changed up what they were doing. But you know, clearly she saw something that she wants to make an adjustment on.
Might have to change up their offense a little bit based on who's guarding who, and bringing Hannah out and Sarah out to the key is open for Izzy or Bella to drive, depending on who's guarding who. I know Molly Arnold got 2 fouls. She's not out right now, but you'd like to get your big people a couple of fouls before the half.
For sure.
And keep them honest. It makes them, you know, do they play as hard? Do they play as tough in the second half when you got 2 fouls to worry about? You know, we are always taught go hard no matter what, but you got to play honest defense because the refs call games tight.
Absolutely, and they got 3 refs here today. Some top officials here reffing this game, so
They asked us to be nice to them.
we are on our best behavior.
We are on our best
They'll
behavior.
ref us next. But
I did watch an OUA game last night, and I was like, man, they let them play.
oh man, it's hard. Those games can be the most frustrating too because it's like they let everything go. So when anything gets called, you're frustrated that we're sitting here in a bloodbath, and all of a sudden you're going to call something. But that's it. Hard to be a referee. At the end of the day, as long as the refs are even on both sides, that's it. Whether they feel like the calls are good or bad, as long as it's even, then everybody's getting the same game.
A couple of young referees the weekend did a tremendous job. I watched probably the majority of the games, and I have to say there was a couple of young guys out, a couple of young girls, and they're obviously with senior officials. They did a great job. I thought they called really good games.
No, hats off to the Ref Association because they have brought in a lot of refs this year, and they've been excellent. There has been a lot of new refs in the conference this year. Miss Kay, Hannah Beebe hasn't got one to go for her yet, but she's had some good strong takes.
Easy probably should have rolled there.
Good shot. Nice rebound. Big stop coming up for Gonzaga. They do really need to keep this game.
Oh, got that call there. I wasn't knocked down on the bottom end, but sometimes they call the littlest things and sometimes the biggest things don't call. It's hard to see, I guess, if you're trying to keep up with these athletes.
For sure, yeah. Stay under, Sarah! Holy Heart seems to be having their way now. This is a big moment for Gonzaga. Holy Heart has a full court press on.
See what I mean? That could have been called the other way too.
Yeah, that's her.
Hard to know.
Definitely better if the game is close, so, I'm all for that call as long as it keeps the game close for the Viz. I'm only kidding. For Gonzaga, if they play a short bench, it's a smart move by Holy Heart to press them because at the end of the day, you want to force them to get tired. Whether they can, if Gonzaga can break this trap, I mean, this is a big moment for them. They want to continue to break it. Gonzaga is definitely a better team when they can walk the ball up the floor, get their offensive set. When you kind of get them running with 5 players playing, it definitely becomes tougher.
See, they're trying to lob it to Izzy like they did all week, and it's different when you're playing a more competitive, stronger, skilled team. It doesn't always work.
Yeah, for sure.
Sophie for 3. And she is loving that.
Yeah, big 3 by Sophie Fowler. Offensive sets here now for Gonzaga. They really need to get something here, keep the rhythm going. Nice bucket by her. Oh my God, I'm sure that was in.
Just not dropping her now. 27-19, 6 minutes left in the half. Sarah Baker's going to get called for that. Can't run alongside somebody and bump them on the way down. It's a foul. You got to run. It's a hard job to run out ahead and try to turn them, but that's what you got to do. First sub for Gonzaga.
It feels like it's not a foul, but it really is an easy call. You can kind of see the movement of your hip, and it's just a tough call.
Sierra Williamson in for Sarah Baker, who's probably not tired, but probably has a couple of fouls, but I think she has 1. We don't have foul stats in front. And there's a sub coming in now for Hannah Beatty, number 22.
We got Alex Caprillion coming in.
Oh, you did a great job of that.
I did, didn't I?
Considering how
Alex
good
comes
she is.
here from Northwest Territories. She's also a Canada Games player. She's transferred to St. John's. Also got another sub. Molly Arnold back into the game. Jada Dua gone out. She had a great shift. She really weathered the storm for them when Molly went out. Hit a big 3, played some good defense. So good on the rookie for her minutes. Big minutes.
Izzy got to use the backboard there. She was a good, strong take.
You can see the Gonzaga players are a bit tired here now.
And Sierra with the board.
And that's good for Gonzaga. If Holy Heart's just going to settle out there on the 3-point line versus attack Gonzaga when they're tired, I mean, then you couldn't really want focus on Sarah is very tough.
When you got Hannah, Sophie, and Athie in the key Serenator,
I mean,
pretty intimidating.
Big time. Nice rebound.
And that's what Gonzaga's been known for, and that's what they got to keep doing. 28-21.
7 points is nothing. Just 14, now it's down to 7. So they do keep chipping away. Just gets a little bag
bounce, and there you go, you got it.
28-21. Games come down to championship games. It's like those little things, the missed box outs, the missed free throws, all those little things add up, and that's the stuff that you look back and kind of hunch it if you don't win in the end.
And diving on the floor too, you might not see a lot of it throughout a regular tournament. Some kids are at it all the time. Championship game, you'll see people rolling around on the floor for that ball like it's their last day on earth.
Absolutely.
And that's the little things that matter. That's the people like Alexis. Not usually a starter, gives good minutes, works hard, and she comes on the floor. She knows where to screen, when to screen, and she knows she got to dive on the floor for the ball.
Yep, absolutely. And if you're a role player in a game like this, that's when you really got to buckle down and play your role. If the coach is calling out to you off the bench, when they look at you, it's because they know whatever it is that you've been bringing in practice all year in different games, that's what they expect you to bring. So if you're coming in being a role player, definitely do your role. Have confidence in the role that you have, and come doing that.
What was your role?
Just to be a good leader.
Just be cool like yourself. You were a star at the AUS. You were a Highlander. I was a Highlander, but my kids went to Gonzaga, so I'm in the middle.
Now, Dean, tell the truth. You were not a Highlander.
My banner is on the Highlander wall.
You were a Hooter.
I was a Hooter.
You were a Hooter. I only told the girls I coached the other day that the Holy Heart was the Hooters before 1993, and they could not believe it.
I know. We had to
They
change
should
the
bring
name.
back I think they should bring it back.
I don't.
2025?
I don't. I think it's frowned upon.
I think so.
What a great team, though. It's funny to see some of the kids that are playing now. I played with their mothers.
It's crazy. It is crazy. It is really just a blink. A big step. And I mean, how do you stop that?
You can't.
No.
She volleyed 2 into the net yesterday off missed shots. Never even put her feet to the floor. I think about that now as my age. I'm like, God, how do you do that?
No.
Even when we were in shape, how did you do it?
No. She's a special athlete, special player for sure. I mean, really, you just hope and pray that she doesn't get going if you're Holy Heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some days when all those shots fall and some days they don't, and you just really hope that she misses more than she makes if you're Holy Heart.
Really rare for her to miss 2 free throws. Very rare.
9-point game, Holy Heart up 30-21.
Are we into a zone here now for Gonzaga? I think we are. Might be a good idea to play zone.
Yeah, it should be interesting. Holy Heart has had some threes, but they definitely had more success kind of getting to the hole. So
Athie is off the floor, so you might not see a lot of that.
and tough one again for Gonzaga. Sarah trying to find her guard and Bella.
Supporting cast members doing their job. Yeah, Bella's had a great weekend, I have to say.
Yeah, good on her.
I love trying to convert other athletes to basketball. Give up the soccer. Give up the...
I mean, of course.
No, we can't say that. They excel at their own sport, too.
No, I'm sure. Hate to see how good she is at soccer because she's
She's a goalie.
Sophie
Sophie Fowler might be a problem here today.
It's her third 3, I think, is it?
Yeah.
feel like it might be her third.
And Anthea is off.
I do love the emotion. That's great to see. I mean, that's why you play.
Timeout, Holy Heart, I think. He wants to get Anthea back in for the last 2 minutes of the half.
But you know, as we know, Ginny, 12 points is nothing in basketball. So
Nothing.
you know, you can't have your highs be too high and your lows be too low. That's what it is a management of emotions in a game like this. And like I said earlier, with a girl like Sarah Reed on the other side, 12 points, she could take care of that in 2 minutes or less. So I think Holy Heart got to stay real focused if they wanted to keep that lead, because you don't want this game to be close with Sarah Reed on the other side.
And Gonzaga can't get down. You can't walk to the bench with your shoulders down. Okay, so they scored. Let's zone in now. It's easier said than done on this side of it.
Yeah.
Of course, we've all had those games where we walk to the bench and we're like, can't believe that, can't believe we're down. But you have to zone in, and it's very tough mentally as a 17 and 18-year-old to be able to, not all athletes are good at that mental part of the game.
No, for sure. I mean, it was 14. They just got down to 7, and now we're back to 12. So, they've already done it. They keep chipping away. They had some tough breaks, like I say, with the little bunny that came to Molly Arnold. Then they had another one that went to Alex, I can't say her name again, Capralian. They've had 2 easy ones kind of land in their hands after big defensive sets. So I just think that, Gonzaga stay focused here now and keep chipping away. It was really one shift that got them up, so it can be another shift that gets them back. Yeah. If she hits this, look good though, look good. Would have been a big
Look good anyway.
Yeah, it did.
Place would have went up had that gone in. 35-23, 2 minutes and 27 seconds left. Anthea's back on the floor. Cannot miss.
Like, their percentages, they got to be shooting over 35, 40%.
Bit nervous, I think, about seeing Sophie Fowler come at her. Yeah, it's intimidating for sure.
Even the girls on the bench are laughing because the shots going in is insane.
41-23.
And they're all good. They're good shots. They're the right position to make. They're not even hitting the rim. Get in. And then the other side, Gonzaga can't catch a break. That's it. Bree there fighting for her girls. Bree got great emotion there, rallying her troops. I don't think sometimes people understand the job of a coach is to, have the most energy on the bench, and it can be exhausting when you're, trying to be focused on helping your team, but also trying to keep them up, trying to keep the bench up so kids are ready to go in when they're called. It's a lot, and Bree's a young coach, has done an amazing job.
She's amazing with the girls.
Yeah. Hard luck. Minute 22.
Right?
Yeah.
In the head, right? I think it's a little bit of pressure, feeling, a little bit of weight on the shoulders. These are probably going to be the 2 or 3 girls on Gonzaga that are going to have to play 40 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. And, minute and 10 left here. I'm sure Gonzaga just wants to get out of this half now and get a restart going into the second. Finish hard here now, see if they can chip away a little more getting into the half. Come back with less of a hole to dig out of. If I'm Holy Heart, I want to stay up. If I'm Gonzaga, I want to get a stop and another bucket and try and get this a little closer going into the half.
What do you do? Cover the inside, or you got to watch your 3-pointers too?
You really do. Yeah, they can get a 2 for 1 here, easy. I'm sure Sarah's aware. She's bound to get one. Again, with people like Sarah out there, and Bella goes hard to the net. Kids can get in foul trouble real quick.
And that's why you need to start early. You got to get those big players out. You got to force Colin McNeil and Maria Carroll to go to their bench. Now, their bench is good.
Yeah.
Is their bench good against those
Well,
top
this
3
is
or
the
4
thing.
players,
I mean, they've
right?
got a lot of talent on their bench, but their bench is young.
It's
and,
young, yeah.
and like there is a lot of difference mentally between grade 12 and a grade 10 of just experience. So yeah, when he kind of goes to his bench, he's getting young, and Gonzaga's just not using much of their bench. So you're always going up against those top players.
And grade 10, you're sitting there saying, please don't put me in, please don't put me in. Grade 11, you're like, I kind of want to go in, but I kind of don't, but I'd love to go in, but not this game.
100%.
Grade 12, you're like, don't take me off.
That's like Jada Dua's shift was just a great shift. She came out and hit that 3 early, and I think it just kind of calmed her and enabled her to have a good shift as a grade 10.
So we have 31 seconds left in the half. It's 41-25. Lots of time
Jenny,
left.
you've seen lots of these games this year. I'm sure there's been lots of games where either team is up or down by a bit, and they remain to be close games down the stretch.
Before Christmas, Gonzaga beat Holy Heart a couple times, and then after Christmas, Holy Heart's beaten them. So it's been a nice series of events since September. Always a rivalry. When my daughter played in 2022 and 2021, we had COVID, and then the next couple of years it was the Waterford Valley Gonzaga. And I think next year Holy Heart will be the one to watch. So,
and
it's
these
nice
programs are, all these top kids are playing on the Newfoundland provincial teams. These girls are really tight. They're friends on top of it. They're competitors, but they're friends. The schools are probably 3 kilometers from each other. So, these people rub elbows all the time, both socially and competitively. So,
and a lot of them are friends. Like, they played growing up together. Some team is going to be sad today. Some team is going to be happy.
Yeah, for sure.
Seconds left. There we go. Turnover you want with 14 seconds left.
Sarah's the best player in the province. Bathier is no joke, and defensively, she's a tough matchup for anybody.
Right.
So I think Sarah didn't. I didn't realize it was 8 seconds myself. Seemed like a quick 8 seconds.
Yeah, I don't know if the fastest way from A to B is a straight line.
Yeah,
so I don't know if she was looking to get a foul called on Athia before the half, or she was,
That's a tough one there. That would have been a bit of a blow. They got lucky that she missed that putback.
So at halftime, folks, we're at 41-27. We're going to take a break and be back for the second half of what's sure to be an exciting
finish to the game. What was it? 14 points. No big deal.
And we're back. Sorry for those folks watching live. We didn't say the score. Apparently we got numerous messages saying...
A bit of hate mail came in.
I know. 41-27 for Holy Heart over Gonzaga. There's a minute left in the half. Teams are gathering up, getting ready to start. A crazy second half.
Mascot looks really sad. Come on, buddy. Buck up. We got another half to play. Oh, he's doing his moonwalk now. He's doing it. He was just kidding around.
And thanks for all the nice messages. We're only rookies at this. I've done it 3 or 4 times. You've done it
A few times.
You're probably better at coaching, right?
Definitely. I'm going to quit my day job.
No, we love doing it. It's a great way to hang out with my buddy.
We're in the second half here now. The final game for the high school season. I know there's probably some tournaments, but nothing as important as the 4A finals. So here we are. We got Gonzaga down by 14. You know, they're going to come out ready to rock here to start the second
Same
half.
starting 5 for both teams. Sarah Baker's back in. And I just learned that she has 3 fouls. Thought it was 2. So Bree Vallis is probably said to her halftime, Baker, you got nothing to lose. You're going back on. Mind your hands.
Absolutely. If you're going down at this point, go down swinging.
Anthony's back on Sarah Reed. Jenna's on Bella Hines. And Molly Arnold is on Baker. Oh. Thought about it too long, probably.
I'd be shocked if Sarah isn't much more offensively aggressive now this half.
Not there.
Again, I think if they go down, they got to go down with her taking a lot of shots in the second half.
She's got to take a lot of shots. The middle is just not there for her right now.
Quick three.
You got to take advantage of the fast break.
Somebody said to us in half, we didn't get any stats. Holy Heart hit 8 threes in the first half.
Not cool.
I mean, I'd say right.
Not cool.
And I don't know. Right away.
Here comes Alexis again.
That's a hustle you like to see. That's impressive hustle.
Nice steal by Alexis, whose first sport is volleyball.
Yay, taking it. Molly Arnold, goes for her second one.
And here comes Appy, like a track star. Sophie Fowler with her second block of the game.
I mean, you can't teach tall. 6'3" is
She grew up on meat and potatoes.
Yeah.
And I gotta feel nothing but I'm happy for Soph. I'm happy because 2 years ago, unless you watched her journey of injuries and ACLs and back and forth, and you didn't know with her family and her if she was going to be finished playing ball, but she came back, she rebounded, she worked hard, and here we are.
And I'll say in fairness, a kid like Sophie Fowler, she has a lot of friends who live on my streets where I live personally. Sophie Fowler is...
Well, where do you live professionally?
Is that what I said? Personally, I didn't say personally.
Personally you live?
Well, on my personal street. But she is a kid who was in a driveway shooting hoops.
Right.
Her whole life. Like, it'd be nothing for me to see her at 14, 15 years old playing street ball with all the, all her buddies. Like, this is a kid who loves basketball, and you can see it in her emotion today. But to your point on her grind back, she did have a rough road with injuries.
For sure.
And to see her today, it's a nice finish to her career. Win or lose today.
Yeah. And it's hard on family too. You know what to do, how much do we have, do you have surgery, do you not?
Yeah.
And her father played ball when I played ball years ago, and I know how committed they were to her and whatever her dream was for the future, and certainly she's rebounded really well, and I'm happy for her.
No, absolutely. She's a good kid. Her brother Nick played at Munn for a year, so, and she has another brother, 2 brothers, but they're basketball players. It's a basketball family. Thank God, 'cause they don't got enough 6-foot-plus families playing basketball in this country.
Well, something in the water at the Fowler house.
Oh, wow. Big bucket. Just when you thought that Gonzaga might get a steal on that press again, FBA kind of just breaks it down herself. Back to 12 points.
Brady Gonzaga's wishing she had a soccer game today. I'm not sure if they're second or third, but I know, those calls are tough to make, right?
Yeah,
They're both the same size.
I mean, it is. Yeah, in fairness, and they are the same size. It's different when Sophie's blocking some smaller girls, but
Yeah.
good men body in there. In fairness, that's the bonus of having 3 referees. They do kind of catch all the angles.
Now, Izzy White hasn't missed 2 free throws all weekend, so that's in your head a little bit.
No, for sure. They've missed some free throws. I mean, Sarah missed 2, Izzy missed 2. That's 4 points. It's just stuff that, like I say, in these championship games, they're big value buckets. Some good defense there, trying to keep her in check. Wow, gosh. Those ones you want to pass that off. Probably needs to get the ball moving on offense
Yeah.
here. I'm sure Athlete wants to check the heat meter, but wow.
Tough boot. She might be getting a little bit ticked off now. Might say, you know what? We're not done.
And I can see Brie Balla. She is all in here on the energy.
She's wicked.
Holy Heart doesn't love the press.
Holy Heart does not love the press.
Number 3, Jenna McNeil.
All it takes is for them to miss and for Gonzaga to make a couple, and it could be a very big turnaround in the game.
Yeah, I mean, Holy Heart, sometimes that can be a real crutch because they had so much success shooting the 3. I mean, Gonzaga would love for them to come out and be complacent and settle in the 3, hope they're going to go, but new half is a new game.
Salary on 3-point line, so she'll go for 3 shots, and they have somebody coming in for her.
I actually didn't even.
Alex, yep. Carol Pralian's coming in for her.
Didn't even see that. I wasn't watching it. Just seemed. Did you see that?
Are you here?
I was watching the ball go. I was going to net. Sarah looked like she was wide open on that shot.
Yeah. I think what happened was Amira got caught on the screen. She came around so fast that she bumped her. It was nothing intentional. We're having a discussion here amongst the 3 refs. Don't know what that was about.
All right, we're at 9 points.
Yeah.
Got 10 points. That's all you want to do. I mean, really, you want to be less than 10 going into the 4th. That would be ultimate goal.
We've seen it happen last weekend in the AOS and the men's. St. Yvette's 21-point lead. UPI came back and beat them.
No lead is ever safe.
No lead is ever safe. Not when you're this talented. Oh, yeah. It's okay, foul to take. That was a bit late, but it keeps them honest, and that game is coming to help. And
not like the press. I mean, neither team likes the press, but Holy Heart is definitely struggling here with the press.
And the key with press is passing it out, or you clear out and let somebody dribble who's a great ball handler. The fastest way from A to B is straight line.
Absolutely.
But I think they got to keep someone in the middle a bit longer than what they have been.
Gonzaga in the zone here now. Okay. Good shot by Jenna McNeil. Big rebounds.
That's a good zone defense. Good sequence by Holy Heart. Everyone had a chance to look.
People start getting a little tight. 8-point game. Gonzaga down by 8 points. 43-35 Holy Heart. 6 minutes left in the third. Sarah Lee wants that ball now. She can taste the comeback.
Violation on Gonzaga.
There we go. Gonzaga got their full court press set up here now again. See if Gonzaga. Holy Heart broken loose at that time. So if you foul her for the 3. Wow, at the 8.
Holy moly.
Gotta box out.
Gotta box out. Doesn't matter if you're a girl or not. Grab a girl.
Sometimes that's a downfall to setting the full court press if you're just not that quick at all.
Yeah, for sure.
They're crawling their way back, but the girls got to keep pushing. Only 10 points here now. Couple breaks for them, and the momentum can swing completely.
Can't have turnovers. You got to hustle for the ball.
And the McNeil, she wants one. At the A again. She's everywhere. I don't know who the foul was on that time.
I would think, I'm going to say Izzy.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah.
I'm going to have my glasses on. Baker got 3 fouls and she's guarding Athier super close, so.
Another 3. As we're living and dying on that 3-point line. I hope it doesn't come back to bite them.
And like you said earlier, at the beginning of the game, it comes down to like travels, fouls, rebounds, all the little things.
It does.
The scorers will score.
To me, that's why Athie's been the kind of standout of the game, because she has gotten a lot of offensive rebounds. She's hit the floor more than anybody else today. Like, she's really done the dirty work. She's had some beautiful offensive moves, but she's kind of gotten down and done really her work. The break. Another 3 for Holy Heart. They're not falling for them. Gonzaga squeezes that one out.
I guess. You know, you don't want to score, but
I think so.
Jenna McNeil doesn't have any fouls today.
I don't think she has any, no.
So, you know what? You prevented the basket. Now you got somebody who's got to shoot from 15 feet out versus a layup.
I mean, for Gonzaga right now, like Holy Heart is settling on the 3-point line, and they're not dropping for them now. I think Gonzaga really got to buckle down and like clean up the boards. You know, getting killed on the second chance, easy little putbacks, and you know, so that I think right now that's their focus should be on like boxing out. Holy Heart, like I said, they had so much fire in the first half on the 3-point line. They're kind of forgetting outside of Athier really kind of going hard to the net. She's the only person who's really getting in that key and trying to create those types of buckets. So if it keeps going that way, Gonzaga just needs to get a few stops, and you know they can get this close real quick.
It's only 5 hoops, 10 points.
Yeah.
Having said that, though, when you're playing a zone, you got to talk a lot on the defense because you're not guarding a person, you're guarding a space. So at the end of the day, it's you got to be more fine-tuned to the fact that I don't have a girl, but I got to get a girl.
Yep.
Man to man, you know who you're guarding, you know who you got to box out. Zone's a little bit different, but somebody should be pinpointed to make sure that Athier is out of the key as far as possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
And she might fly in from the key. I don't know.
Well, this is the thing. She's just not down on the low block, get rebound. She's flying in from the 3-point line. So, you know, I mean, it's no secret that she came to play today. So people need to find her and get a body on her.
Right.
We got 4 minutes, 14 seconds left of the third.
Lots of ball left yet.
Holy Heart up 45-35. 10-point game. Gonzaga going to the line for 2.
Time. It was a bit of a late pass.
And if that went in, there could have been a TSN turning point. Another 3-pointer. Big rebound. Clean them up.
No.
I think Izzy got to be much more aggressive in that moment.
Izzy got to be aggressive on the offense. Yeah. Can't be jogging around. We got to get in there.
Zone. Holy Heart coming down, setting up their offense. Holy Heart a little bit complacent here now. They look a little confused on their offense. Always a bit confused. So.
45-39.
That's 6
playing at our best. 2 is not playing at our best, but number 3 says, you know what, girls? I got ya.
Yep. We're back to Bella Hines again, back having big plays. She had that steal a minute ago. Now she got another going at the net. She's had a lot more points here now in the third. She was really good for them in the first. Now she's been strong for them in the third. Got a 4-point game, 45-41.
45-42. My nerves.
Definitely a little tighter here all of a sudden. The momentum is switching. Shot it.
So it looks so easy, right?
Man, oh man.
And still really unselfish player. Still looks for her teammates. Woo. 2 on Jada now, back to back. Coach McNeil trying to console one of his players who's probably not feeling the game today. But you know what? That's what good coaches do.
Yeah, so much pressure on these girls.
So much.
It's hard. It's hard.
It's really hard. She's grade 11 too. She got another year.
Yeah,
but it's still hard. You want to, you're a starter. You feel like you got to be a leader. And some people just take that role super seriously.
No, for sure. And, especially, I know these games, these teams are the 2 top teams unequivocally in the province. So, you're playing games all weekend and things are going your way all weekend. It's hard mentally when you just feel like it's not. And I mean, it's a roller coaster, being up by a lot, down by a lot, up by a lot, it's a real gut check.
I know, I remember it well. When I played it, we dominated, but our rival was undoubtedly Laval and Placentia. Who would have thought? But they had Jeanette Byrne, Judy Byrne, and I never forget we lost a game, an exhibition game to Laval without Judy there. Oh, my nerves. We paid for that dearly. But, we went back and forth between the Munholly Heart Tournament and the 4A's Provincial. Who's going to win? One of us would win us, right?
Yep.
And that was the rival growing up. Gonzaga, I don't think was really into it back then.
No, they weren't. They weren't strong back. They had some strong players go through, of course, but not strong teams. Our big rivals was definitely Trapassi, and then PWC. They had Jen Taylor and some of those guys. But I mean, it was the B teams definitely were the biggest rivalries.
Look at Trapassi, who they produced. I mean, what else was there to do but great little spot to go visit? But they were in the gym 24/7.
Shout out to Clarence Sutton.
Shout out to Clarence Sutton.
Amazing man.
I see a lot of alumni here for both university and high school. Some our age, some you are my age, some your age.
That's awesome to see.
It's awesome to see.
High school basketball is alive and well in Newfoundland.
For sure.
Every pass is a big pass. Every shot is a big shot now. She's Hannah Beatty back. She hasn't been out for a little while.
Nope.
Big shot. Oh man. The threes are not dropping down. Looks like Holy Heart's going to live and die on that.
And I think Hannah was out because they had a couple of fouls. But guess what?
Okay.
At the end of the day, they were doing okay, right? So I guess he figured he'd rest her for a little while.
Big, tall, but you got some, these are some tall ladies here, athletic women who are going hard at the net. They're like 6'1", 6'2",
who feeds them?
Right, I know. They aren't even in my house.
I got a 6'2" home. I can attest to the grocery bill. But I was the tallest player provincially when I played. I'm only 5'10".
Right, it's crazy though. These are, I don't know if you're at home watching, these are some tall girls and big athletes. They're strong. If you don't know what you're doing as a referee, so you think everything's a foul, but they're not. They're playing good D, and hats off to the refs for letting them play.
Hats off to the refs for keeping up with the pace.
Absolutely, yeah.
I look at Breezer down there, and he's covered in sweat. I'm like,
I know, he's working it today.
He's working it today. 47-42 with 43 seconds left in the third quarter. Everyone's tying their shoes now, which I deem to be a tactic to catch your breath. We used to do it.
That's right.
Tie your shoe, get a breather.
Oh my God. Sophie Fowler in close.
She's probably better from 800 feet out. Izzy White got to make a move here. She's part of the big three. Sarah Baker made a couple of those the weekend. That was clean. I have to give Sophie that. That was clean. 7 seconds left. Can they capitalize?
5-point game. Gonzaga wants to get a stop here now. 7 seconds. 47-42.
Into the fourth quarter, 47-42. Refs are breathing heavy.
Yeah, they are working here today.
Lots of red faces. Now it comes down to the last quarter.
This is exciting. This is how you want it to go. 47-42 for Holy Hearts.
Mascots and banners, face painting, bells and whistles everywhere.
That's awesome. I love it.
I love it too. Something like the old Mount Gym. I don't care what anybody says.
There's no better place.
No.
No better place. The best gym in the city.
Best gym in the city. Especially back in the 90s when you couldn't fit everybody in here from residents.
Oh, so good. So good.
So good.
We need to start the Bring It Back campaign for the old gym.
Shout out to Brandon, who hasn't missed a game all weekend, taking some fabulous shots.
Yeah, it's great. It's amazing the photography that you see of some of them, and just capturing the memories is amazing. Just looking around the gym, you can see just about every other team that was in the 4A's this weekend is here together as a team. You see a lot of club teams here this weekend or today. You know, just to come out and watch the top female basketball players. And on the edge of the International Women's Day yesterday, this is definitely a great environment for women here today. Five-point game. Might as well be 0-0 here now, going into the fourth. All comes down to, their season comes down to this last.
Yep. Team's going to have the bruised knees at the end of this game.
Yeah.
Might be hard to hear each other now with the pots and pans.
Backdoor starters. We heard, and Gonzaga got
Sierra Williamson came in for Sarah Baker. They're trying to get her.
fair enough.
Yeah.
Three-pointer. I don't know if they hit a three in the second half, have they?
Nope. Not that quarter they didn't. That's hurrah. Take the jump. You don't have to be a 20-point player to be an impact. Definitely don't.
Not.
Oh, that hurt.
It's no joke. My gosh. She has been so impressive today.
And to think this is not even her sport.
That's crazy. And she's only in grade 11.
Scary. I think I might go watch a soccer game.
I agree.
I'm curious how people come on fast.
The benches. There's so much pressure on the girls.
I know.
They're either praying or cheering.
Whether you're grade 10 or grade 12 on the bench, this is as good as it gets.
Yeah.
44 to 50 for Holy Heart.
46 now. They got that late putting that ball.
46, sorry. Who's supposed to be back on that?
That's the hard part now. Everything is kind of high risk.
I think Gonzaga should keep the press on, though.
I agree.
They might be in the danger zone.
52-49, Holy Heart.
Bree Dallas is doing what Bree Dallas does best. Very animated on the sidelines, always super positive. Throws feet off that. Colin and Maria doing the same thing, trying to get their teams plugged up. Exciting. Maria Carroll, certainly a good asset to the Holy Heart squad.
Yeah, it's nice to have, I know on the one basketball team we've got some guys like Colin Connors and Colin Green, they're young coaches, and it's important to have those people to relate. Like that call, but that's it. That's how it rolls.
That was a good. That was a foul, but good one to take, I guess. Sometimes a good foul to take just the wrong person, depending on the percentage of shooting.
And Bella has shown that she goes hard to the net today, so she's kind of earned that call. Knock down these free throws, though. These are big shots. Got to make them pay for the foul.
Can't be tired now. 7 minutes left of your high school basketball career.
52-50, Holy Heart.
And we have a game.
Gonzaga got their press on.
And Anthony is cut in the middle. Somebody has got a bumper.
This doesn't stop moving. Big three.
Easy! Thought she was hers.
Kenny's getting in those. Yeah, 2-point game. 7 minutes, 20 seconds left in this 4A final. And Izzy White tried to take the charge. 50-50 call. Unfortunately, a lot of times they just don't call anything in those situations.
Sarah Baker just came back on for Sierra Williamson. That was a hard foul for sure. Yeah. I don't know if it was wise to foul that far out. Like she just hit a three, first one of the game. Do you clobber somebody on the 3-point line, or do you just risk it and let them have it and hopefully get the rebound?
I'm kind of of 2 lines. I feel like I'd rather Sarah have to earn it if I'm Holy Heart than have her have a pull up in motion. Right. Either way, she's going to see the ball going in it twice now probably, so,
But maybe after he said I had no fouls today, or I only got 1 foul today.
And it's so intense. These girls are,
Oh, it's...
Academy's been the best player for Holy Heart today. Sarah's taking a personal challenge over them.
See some emotion here from people who are not usually that way, but it's going to be a nail biter. We may have a timeout. Oh, no, we have subs coming in. Jenna McNeil and Jay are coming in from Molly Arnold. And Hannah Haas.
2-point game, 6:41. Holy Heart up by 2. Oh my God.
like a boxing one? Would a boxing one work on her?
Probably. Just don't let her be involved. Let everybody else.
Just let everybody
involved.
else.
Yeah.
We were told back in the day if there was a star player on another team, AOS or high school, the coach always said, we're playing zone, but you are guarding her. If she goes to the bathroom, you are to go with her.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, you got to know where she's at today. You just got to know. Like,
I don't know.
And that's been the most impressive thing for her today. She's been playing on both ends of the floor.
She's definitely wreaking havoc for them today, no question.
59-54. 6 minutes left in the game. 59-54. Holy her. Again, 5-point game is nothing here, and tons of time on the clock.
59-54, 6 minutes left.
Foul on Hannah Beatty. Sarah Reed going to the line for two.
You still getting hate mail?
Always. Poor old Gonzaga missed a lot of free throws today.
Yeah. Didn't miss a lot the weekend, but today is.
In a 5-point game, that's
Yeah.
stuff that just kind of sits with you in your crop. Wow, timeout coming for Holy Hurst. Oh no, sorry, Sops. I thought it was a timeout. My bad.
Hannah Beatty's coming out now.
She must
and-
have 4 fouls here now.
Yeah. But you know what? He has a bench. He can swap in and out.
Yep. I know that's where you got to give a lot of credit to Gonzaga. Allen, Sophie Fowler.
Probably 4 on her.
She's got to be getting up there.
3 or 4 for sure. I think someone got to take it upon themselves to say, listen, if you guys play 4-corner zone, I'm going to chase Aki around the gym.
Yeah. Very uncharacteristic of Sarah Reed to be missing these free throws.
Yeah, it's really unheard of. Got a lot on her shoulders. I'm sure she thought about it all last night and all this morning.
Yeah, you know she knows.
Gonzaga has their own little nuisance there in Sarah Baker.
Ah, the turnovers down the stretch. Killer. Jada.
Back in my day, that would have been a travel. The goalie's doing it again.
Man, oh man, 61-57.
I guess in the next unit gets a little bit of action here and there, so she's letting all of her emotion and her athleticism come out on the court.
Oh, there are no chicken nuggets in the game as well.
61-57 for Holy Hat with 5:07 left in the fourth quarter.
Holy Hart loses this game, it'll be for settling for 3-pointers. That's going to be the reason. If they turn around and lose this game, I just think they've settled for way too many threes in the second half of this game after coming down hot, which any team would probably do. But I do think that's been their Achilles heel this second half.
Gonna be exciting.
Got 5 minutes left to go. 4-point game with Bella on the line. Bella Hines, is it? Is that
Yeah.
right? Bella Hines on the line. She's had a great game for Gonzaga today.
I guess Holly Hart's been so focused on Izzy and Sarah that they forget that there is a couple of other players that have
Yeah.
certainly pulled their weight.
I've been quite impressed with Bella Hines today. Is she grade 12 or grade 11?
She's grade 12. She's going away next year to play soccer.
Is she?
Down St. Vincent.
Okay. I wouldn't be shocked if they tried to get her to play basketball too. Holy. She's impressive.
Nice to see all the little club teams out. I'm sure your kiddies are here.
They are, absolutely. And, this is how it is in Newfoundland. These are their role models. A lot of young girls.
For
I know
sure.
Sarah Reed coaches with our St. John's basketball. She is adored. She is an incredible role model. And, it's great to see the girls come out and support her and all sorts of other girls.
I see bodies falling everywhere now. I'm getting a little bit nervous. You can have an injury at the end of the season.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Get an Epsom salt bath and I'll give you this kind.
Tough. Big three-pointer. Is it white? Rebound. Big rebound.
Nice.
Thought about it too much.
Regretted.
Yeah. There you go. I guess Holy Heart feels they're not in foul trouble. They might as well.
They definitely
Help
play
the
a bit
scoreboard.
more. They can play more free for sure.
4 minutes left. 61-57. Izzy White on the line.
These are those moments when,
I know Izzy has a few relatives that don't miss a game, but a couple are out of town. So shout out to Auntie Pam in Arizona and Auntie Sandra at home watching because they are basketball diehards. It's a tough call. Doesn't matter, she's not coming off anyway.
if I were her, this is the kind of young player mental toughness, but she's had a few kind of calls not go her way,
Yeah.
which is really hard as a young
Really
player.
hard.
She's given everything she got. Got to stay focused here now down the stretch.
You gotta shake the referees off.
Yeah, for sure.
Just like we did in our day.
Absolutely. It's hard.
Oh my. Alexis is doing it this weekend. Sarah Power wants to be out there, but can't. Alexis is thinking, I'll help you out.
We got 4 minutes here now. Big stop needed by Holy Heart here. They tied it up once. Anthony just continues to be a showstopper here today. And you can see the tightness. Both teams are nervous dribbling the ball up on
Yeah,
pressure.
I think
Both
so.
sides. You got Molly Arnold as the guard and even Sarah or Bella. There's a lot of pressure here down the stretch. Big shot. Oh my God. Molly Arnold wants one bad. She almost needed that midway.
64-59, 3:41 left. Gotta be careful with the ball. Gotta be very strict.
Izzy White did not do enough of that today.
Did not do enough of that today, yeah.
She's a
Did it
big
all
scorer.
weekend.
Yeah.
And
And I'm sure it's hard for someone like her because she's, such a soldier and such a, Batman and Robin with Sarah Reed.
Yeah.
So I'm sure she's,
and Robin.
well, I'm sure she's kind of doesn't want to overplay herself and whatever, but I just think that today, that offensive threat, she was more timid. And seeing her down the stretch, it doesn't matter. It might be enough here in the last 5 minutes if she continues to play that way.
Yes, for sure.
I think that's part of her game that we didn't see enough of today.
Yeah. We saw lots of double teams on Sarah and little dishes under the net to Izzy, but every competitor is different.
Absolutely. It's hard when you're going against Sophie Fallon, trying to save your fouls, or trying to do a lot of things. We got 64-60. Holy Heart. Sophie Fowler is going to the line for 2. 3 minutes 17 seconds left in the game.
I think that was on Sarah Baker that time. That might be her fourth. But she's not going to come off either.
That was a big miss. Down the
A little
stretch
bit
here.
of nerves, I think, in the fourth quarter when it comes to free throws. It is nerve-wracking.
Absolutely.
Everyone looking at you, the score tight.
Big shot. 1 for 2.
What's that?
I said, if she's not today's MVP, I don't know why they would have the award on either team. She's been incredible.
66 to 60. 3 minutes left.
It's big 3 minutes here now for Gonzaga.
Big 3 minutes.
They need this rebound. They need to get the ball over half. Just little things now. Themselves in the game.
One to call there.
Yeah.
We thought we might have had sound trouble there for a minute, but all's well now. 67-60. 7 points, 2:45. Lots of time. Lots of possessions.
So much time.
Can't be walking the ball. We got to get it in. Get a good shot off.
Big possession here for Gonzaga. Foul on Holyhead for sure on that one.
I don't know what kind of foul that was. I guess.
I think it's just a holding
Yeah,
foul.
it's just a holding foul.
Probably a good foul because, it's not to go back up for Jenna. And if she doesn't foul her, Sarah Reed's doing a layup. So, it's not a foul.
And they're putting her on the free throw line right now in hopes she doesn't make it and you get the ball back. They can run their 30.
My goodness, fourth egg. I can't believe it. This shows the magnitude of the game. The shots get missed because it's so important to them. The pressure comes.
I don't know about this dribbling to the sideline
I don't
business.
understand why they haven't adjusted that.
I have seen it so much this weekend. I'm like, the sideline is not your friend.
Yeah, I mean,
That is another teammate.
to lure the trap, but really, why there's something not behind Molly for a quick reversal? And
Totally.
it is odd.
That's a couple times now she's.
Not getting that call down the stretch.
Bounce passes and lobs do not jive with me at all. I'm afraid to death that they're so easy to pick up. The athleticism today is not like it was. It's top notch.
Yeah, I agree. 8-point game here. Under two.
They got Athley on Izzy now. That wasted a lot of time off the clock. 61-69.
Oh my God, hot potato.
A minute and 30 left. Timeout called by Holyhead.
When you look at it, we talked early when the game started that, it was probably going to be a battle of the benches, but really Holyhead hasn't got to their bench today
No, they
either.
really haven't.
They probably played 7 kids today.
Gonzaga certainly does, and you got to use your offense. You can't use your 30 seconds. You got to go at the net.
Yeah,
first pass.
They need to get quick buckets, and they need to attack the glass, and they need to press, and then clean up their defensive rebounding on the other end.
And if you waited for the perfect play, it never happens.
Yeah. I mean, even a few moments ago when Izzy White got it and just drove to the net hard. Like, that's what they need. They don't have time to be passing it around now. Get it to your best players, win or lose with them going down.
Yep. Pass the ball, get rid of it, get it back, and let them chase you for a couple of seconds, but you can't use the shot clock like that.
And in fairness, it's been a great game. Both sides are actually pretty well behaved. I thought the Gonzaga Holy Heart fans would be a little bit back at each other, but they've been pretty well behaved.
I think for the most part the crowd's been good. There's probably a couple of issues, but everyone gets intense, I guess. And the funny thing is, some people think they know the game. They're the fun ones. I hear people calling out yesterday, grandmothers and grandfathers, and that wasn't a foul. I'm like, oh.
I love it.
Back on Sarah, Molly, and Bella Hines are having a laugh down there. Soccer foes and friends. It's all good.
That is great.
71-61.
It's getting close now, yeah. It's getting close to the end here for Gonzaga. Definitely need a basket here. Offensive foul. That was George's moment. He lives for the call. The call. I love it.
He's as animated as they come, that Bracer.
Everybody in the stands holding their breath.
50 seconds left, 71-61. I think they're probably just going to go four corners and...
I think Hannah Haas must be a grade 12, is she? Can we get a grade 12 in here now?
I'm not sure about her. I think Sarah Baker's fouled out now. Thanks for that.
Black is your friend.
What?
Black, we're black. Sophie Fowler at the line here now.
29 seconds left, 72-61. I don't know what I'd play, I'd call now. What's the chances of going overtime?
So 14-point play.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's one of those games. Somebody had to win, somebody had to lose.
That's right.
It's been an amazing season for these girls, both teams.
And they're going to let the clock run out.
And you know how hard they had to work today because Holy Heart, Gonzaga's very upset, but they didn't come easy to them today.
No,
Gonzaga
for
did
sure.
an amazing game. So that's off to Gonzaga. That's off to Holy Heart.
And somebody had to win, somebody had to lose. Congratulations to Holy Heart Highlanders. And great season for the Gonzaga Vikings. It's been a pleasure always to hang out with you.
You as well, Jimmy. Always.
You're the best. We're signing off now. See you next season. Hopefully we'll be awesome.
We will. We're coming back.